to get crafty because today we may or may not be getting super crafty on my channel. Welcome back to another episode of my apartment decor series. If you missed the last video, I made some adorable coasters, so I will leave that linked in the description box so you can check that out. So since I mentioned starting this series, I've had several of you guys send in requests for different DIYs that you wanted to see me do. So in case you guys were wondering, the easiest way to get in touch with me would probably be through Twitter. So I will leave my Twitter right here floating around in this area. So that is my Twitter name, and you can go look me up and follow me, and it's really easy for me to see what you guys write and respond to you on there. I've just found that it's like the easiest way to communicate. So if you have any requests, you can send them to my Twitter, and I usually read all the comments on my videos, so you can also leave it down there. But anyways, we are making some adorable wooden crate shelves, and they don't necessarily have to be shelves. You could use them just as like little decoration pieces to store cute little knickknacks or whatever you have floating around your room. So this DIY is literally like so easy, and I'm gonna show you guys a couple different ways that you can use them in your room, and I love the way they turned out. They are just super cute and easy and fun. So with all that said, we can jump into the video. For this DIY, we are going to need a surface to work on, so I'm using an old sheet. We're going to need a wooden crate from either Walmart or the craft store, some wood stainer in whatever color you want, a disposable container to hold our stainer, a spongy paintbrush, and some old rags or t-shirts. So once I poured my stainer into my container, I'm going to begin staining my wooden crate. And this is a lot like painting a wooden surface, except it's really important that you go in the same direction of the grain of the wood. Another really important thing to remember when staining wood is to make sure that you're not using a lot of stainer, so I'm keeping it very light and just lightly brushing over the top of the wood. And keep in mind that we are going to wipe the stainer off after it sets for 10 to 15 minutes, so it is not that important that it's like perfect looking, because it's not going to stay like this. In the end, we will wipe off any imperfections. So once I have finished staining the two sides that are exposed, I'm going to turn my wooden crate over and kind of touch up the side that was facing the camera, just to make sure that there are no flaws and that everything is nice and smooth. And then I'm following those exact same steps to stain this part of the wood that I haven't yet got to. And then I'm going to go back to the sides that I did previously and use an old t-shirt to wipe off any excess stainer. This is the most important step in staining any wood surface, because if you leave that stainer on there, it will leave a sticky residue and it smells horrible and it won't feel like the original wood. So make sure you use an old t-shirt to get any excess off. And then I'm flipping my crate over again and staining the inside. And this is one of the more tricky parts, just because it is kind of hard to get all in the little cracks and crevices, but like I said before, it does not have to be perfect. We can always go back and wipe off any imperfections with our old t-shirt. So the most important part when staining the inside is to make sure that you get it all covered, because if you leave any of the parts of the wood without stainer, it will be super obvious and noticeable, and you want to make sure the whole thing is even and it all looks the same. So after I let that set for a little while, I'm going in with an old rag and doing the same thing I did on the other part of the wood. I'm just wiping off any excess stainer and making sure that everything is nice and even, it's all the same color. And it is a little hard to get in all of those little cracks, but eventually you will get it. You just have to work at it for a little while. So after I have stained and wiped my whole crate, I'm going back over it with my rag just to make sure that there is no stainer left on there, because like I said before, it is super important to make sure it is all completely off of the crate. After our crates have dried overnight, it's time to put them in our room. So the first way I did them is stacking them on top of each other, and I love the way this looks. I kind of catty cornered them a little bit, and in the top one I added this vase full of yellow flowers, and in the bottom one I put a Victoria's Secret dog and this other little decoration. I think these turned out super cute, and I love the way that they looked stacked on top of each other. Another way you could style them is hanging them on the wall as shelves. So I put a screw in the middle and it only took one. So in one of them I put a picture of the Beatles, and in the other one I put this cute little mason jar full of flowers. So I think these add a cute little vintage feel to my room, and I love the way they kind of stick out of the wall. It's a nice little 3D effect. I am super happy with the way these turned out, and they are super inexpensive to make. So I totally recommend you guys making these, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!